If your friends were to describe you, what would they say?
My friends call me a good long-term friend, and I think I also make more fun first appearances, if that makes sense. My first impressions are always like, wait, is that guy for real, kind of thing? And then my long-term friends are like, yeah, Bridger comes across that way.
What do you think about more than anything else?
Oh, I fancy myself a bit of a thinker or philosopher of my own mind, of my own self. And whenever I am thinking about humans and how we interact and why we interact the way we interact and our place in the universe and our place in our place on Earth, which I think we don't consider a lot, and then our place in the universe and the galaxy. I'm always thinking about how we fit in this universe. I have a million thoughts about that.
When have you been overcome with compassion, and what did you do?
One of the times was when I was buying a car, and the salesman had assured me that we don't need to look at, I was getting worked, if you will, and assured me, just don't worry about expense, don't worry about the monthly payments, you're gonna be fine, we're gonna get. And what he really wanted to do was get me really into the process so far that I didn't want to back out of all of it. And what happened a day or two later is they assured me it was gonna be fine. They offered me this really bad deal with a bad loan, and I looked at them and I said, is this the loan? I said, really? Like, that's what you've been talking to me about how good it's gonna be? You had talked like we were friends, you'd fooled me. And I said, would you put your wife into this loan? And he looked very ashamed for a second. And he said, actually, we are in this loan. And I go, okay, and how is that working for you? And he goes, yeah, it's really stressful. And I go, yeah, I can't do this. And I walked away feeling very insufficient, that I couldn't even afford a reasonable car for my family at the time. And so while that was happening, my daughter was like building blocks. I'm sorry. And I was kind of in like a frustration and emotional shock. And I sat down with her, and she asked me how she could stack them higher. And I remember my dad teaching me to stagger them. It's really simple, like Legos. And so I staggered them with her until it was really tall. She looked at me and she said, thank you, Dad. Thank you so much. Like, it meant everything to her. And in that moment, I felt like, oh my gosh, I am sufficient. If this is all I could do, I'm enough for my daughter. And so that was a time I was just overcome with empathy and compassion and love. I don't know what I did with it other than channel it into trying to be a more involved and helpful and good parent. But that's one of the most meaningful experiences of my life, is just my daughter saying, thank you, Dad.
If you could share one more piece of wisdom with the world, what would it be?
I think there's this tendency for humans to want to be a part of something we think is greater. Like we want the meaning in our life to have derived from something else. And we want the love in our life to have come from an outside source, whether that be God or the universe or any other sort of gift to us. And I think that we are the arbingers of love, and we are the source of it. And I think it's only more profound and greater that love is in our minds, not outside of it, meaning it doesn't channel through us, it doesn't come to us, it's not a force from outside the universe. It is something from within our own minds that was given to us. Us and other things on our planet, I think, might be the source of all the love, certainly all the love we know about in the universe, and that makes it more rare and valuable, and even more important to love and to exercise that love and to treat other people with love. So, yeah.
Thanks, man.
For sure.